Hey, happy day. Countdown to the live challenge workshop, which starts on Monday, just 2 days away. This is our second or number two biggest lesson that I've learned in my last 47 years of business. Business ownership for the last 47 years in some way, shape, or form in a bunch of different industries, while over 25 years of that was working in corporate America as well. So I started my first business when I was 13, and then I went through high school, went through college, and went to work in corporate America for a decade, kind of in the middle of all of this, right? And I'd have to sit down and look at my timeline, but it's probably right in the middle. That corporate experience is probably simultaneously with business ownership. It's probably right about in the middle of my life right now if I were to go back and look at the 47 years. Haven't done it, but something I could probably do. Not today, because I'm getting ready for the live challenge workshop, which starts on Monday. And in that, we are going to learn together how to get results that we want in days versus years, and how to overcome and set up challenges for ourselves and for other people to attract the people we want to our businesses and our lives in any area of our business, whether it's, our financial life, our business life, our personal life, relationships, whatever it is. But it's focused on helping people right now to survive this business challenge, the big challenge that we're in the world, because there's so many business people that are freaking out right now because they don't know what to do. And I want to make sure that they don't give up, and that we know that there's always a solution to any challenge and any problem that pops up, no matter how incredibly outrageous it may seem or be. This is going to be an unprecedented time in all of our lives, and in history, and how and who comes out of it better than when they came in is going to be determined entirely by us. And why do I say that? Because one of the biggest lessons I've learned, one of the top 20 lessons I've learned, mostly from mistakes, is that you decide what everything means. You decide what everything means, not necessarily in the world and what reality is for everybody else, but to you. I decide what everything means. Every expression, every communication, every event that happens, an experience that I have in my life, I interpret that through myself, through my own being. This is it's not a woo-woo thing. It kind of sounds like it, but it's really not. But every experience that we have, every person we meet, every thing that we do, every action, every choice, every decision is filtered through our meaning of that decision. That's why so often we focus on the past and we look at all of our past mistakes and we beat ourselves up, because we're judging and beating ourselves up and filtering that experience and comparing it to all the other experiences that we've had, or to things that we've heard about that other people have done, or other experiences that they've had. Comparing ourselves to others, that we don't have to do that, right? I don't know how or why we start doing that. It's natural. It's totally guilty of it, right? Well, why does that person have, 1 million views of their, and I ask this a lot with my granddaughter, why on earth do they have 3.5 million views of that YouTube video? That is unbelievable. And then I think about, well, because they are meeting the needs of the people that they're targeting better than other people that only have 10 views of their videos, right? So we decide what everything means, and that applies to absolutely everything. And a lot of times, guess what? We decide, if we're giving meaning to things that other people do and say, I would say about 80% of the time or 90% of the time, we are wrong. If we are giving meaning and intention to what other people do and say, and we're thinking that we know why they said that or why they did that thing, almost all the time we're wrong, because they're coming at the same situation from their own set of experiences and emotions and thoughts and beliefs and feelings, just like we are. So it's scary. It's meaning you have to take a lot of personal responsibility. But once you understand it, it's really, really powerful. If you understand that you get to decide and interpret what everything means, once you take 100% responsibility for that and understand that you now have complete control over things that you never thought you had control over before, it is mind-bogglingly freeing, and it's incredible what you can accomplish knowing that, hey, yeah, that happened. I can interpret it this way, like I'm originally programmed to interpret it, and think that someone is judging me or hates me or doesn't like me or thinks I'm stupid, or I can look at it another way. Now, how could I look at it from their perspective and say, well, maybe that's kind of how they feel about themselves, and that's why they're projecting and judging me that way, and it really doesn't have anything to do with me, but it does entirely have to do with them. Think about a relationship that you've been in when you break up, and the person says, it's not you, it's me. You know, you're an awesome person, but this is all about me. Guess what? They're telling you the truth. It isn't about you. You are an awesome, lovely person. You're just not the right person for them, and they're definitely not the right person for you if they're telling you it's not you, it's me. They are being honest, and we will ascribe all kinds of excuses and reasons and blame ourselves up and beat ourselves up over that failed relationship when it had nothing to do with us. It's entirely about the other person. How do I know this? I did the same thing in my divorce. I blamed myself for 100% of my marriage not working out and failing, and beat myself up for a long time, way longer than I should have. And I'm sure I still fall into that trap of when something triggers me that I think, oh, well, that's because I did this or I said that, and so, the ex interpreted it that way. No, that's not it. In some situations, it's not you, it is them, and it's how you're interpreting the situation, because we put on all these filters and things that we don't have to. So, realize you get to decide what everything means. Everything from what having a cup of coffee in the morning means, everything from determining what a word means. You get to decide what love means. You get to decide what happiness means. You get to decide what success means. You get to decide what having a business, growing a business, having a career, all of those things mean to you. And that becomes your reality and the direction that you set your life in. And so it's one of my favorite things, and it was a very hard-fought, hard-learned lesson. And one of the things I do for fun now that helps to remind me of this is that I get to decide what everything means, and you get to decide what everything means, which will then in turn create your reality and my reality, because all of our reality is different, right? We all think that the world is, or not all of us, but a lot of people in the world think it's black and white, this is reality, this is the way the world is, this is the facts. But guess what? Are the facts really the facts? Or are they information put forth for us to look at and evaluate and decide how it applies to us and how it impacts us? I say that very few things are factual or actual laws, right? Even all the laws are made up. Time is, I might lose some people here, but time is something that we made up to be able to work with one another, to interact as human beings. Money is the same thing, right? Money is made up, right? Somebody made up the monetary system. Somebody made up math. Somebody made up science. Somebody's made up everything that exists today. It was first created and then as an idea or a thought, and then it's been spread out in the world. And some thoughts, some ideas have spread like wildfire and are incredibly powerful. Like money and time are an incredibly powerful thing that help make humanity and our lives work. You know, I could go off on this for an hour, but I better stop. So, you decide what everything means. And what I was saying is I do a thing where every day I share and I look up the meaning of an idiom. An idiom is a group or a collection of words that mean something different when they're together than the words taken individually. They have a different meaning, and there's 25,000 of them in the English language alone. And I started doing it as a fun project as I was moving, and I realized that today I'm already on day 384. So for 384 days in a row, I've gotten online and I've looked up and researched what do one of these idioms mean. And part of why I do it is it reminds me that as I look this up, I realize there's lots of different meanings and interpretations of it, and I get to choose which one I want to apply and I want to use because it moves my life in the direction I want it to. I get to decide what everything means. I get to decide what hope and sacrifice and hard work and anything mean to me, and so do you. And that gives us incredible power to create and do whatever we want. So we'll use that in the challenge because you get to decide what everything in the challenge means. Starting Monday we're starting the challenge, live challenge, noon Eastern on the Thrive Challenge page. You can see the link in the comments below, but make sure that you join the Thrive Challenge group because that's where we will do the daily action item, because guess what? We already talked about this. One thing a day moves you faster toward your goal than anything else you can imagine. Than not doing the one thing a day, right? So I'm going to expect you to do one thing a day and share it in the thread on the private group, because in the private group, anybody can listen, right? Anybody can go to the Thrive Challenge page and watch the video, because it'll be available for 24 hours. Well, actually, it'll be available through the whole challenge. But we'll do it at noon, and then I think we're going to do a watch party replay live at probably 8 p.m. Eastern. I think that'll be a good time. And then it'll still be available, and you can watch and catch up and do it. In addition to that, there will be in that group every day for 10 days, not just the 5 days of the actual challenge, but for 10 days, there will be a clue, and you have to get the clue. It's super easy, I'm telling you. It's a picture, and from that picture you get a letter, and from that letter you're going to take all the 10 letters, unscramble it, and then enter by April 1st, midnight Eastern time, and there'll be a drawing for a $25,000 value grand prize. And this is a grand prize right now that I guarantee with my entire being that any business owner or anybody that wants to start a business or needs to pivot in this time of incredible chaos in the world will absolutely positively benefit from that and get, 10 times the value in that actual prize. And of course, it's a value prize. It's not dollars. One of my sisters thought, how are you giving away $25,000 right now? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. Duh. It's a $25,000 value grand prize. And really it's worth much, much more, but that's the actual monetary value of it at this time. I don't know. I suppose with deflation, maybe not so much. Who knows what's going to go on. But we will make sure that we're in control of that going forward, and that we will weather this storm and this challenge, better than anybody else, because we are in charge of how we're going to define it and how we're going to not let it define us, and how we are going to come out stronger on the other side of this together, even though we're separated socially, right? Because of the advent of the amazing technology and internet and the age that we're in. Anything is truly possible. Sid, if you have any comments or questions, ask me in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow for the last and final of the 20 biggest lessons that I've learned in 47 years of business. And then Monday, we'll be together for the live challenge workshop. Get ready. I'm actually tweaking it right now for what's going on in the world, because instead of just wanting to do certain things for our business, we now have to keep in mind there's a whole set of different things that our customers are facing, and different problems that our customers are facing right now than they were even a week ago. And that meant I got to make changes in what now. This is a foundational way of dealing with things. It's a foundational thing that over my entire life has not changed. It's a process and a system that I've used personally tens of thousands of times, if not more, and done with tens of thousands of people, if not more, and worked them through this process and shared this process with them. So it is a foundational, time-proven way of doing something, way of dealing with challenges, and way of creating challenges. But given what's changing in the world, I want to tweak it and have specific examples that you can use right now to get the results you want. That's it. Have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.